The Ark Season 3 Episode 3 splits its attention between two increasingly dangerous situations. In space, Sharon, Garnet, and Ian remain trapped aboard Ark 22, a ship filled with clones that has entered faster than light travel. On Homebase 1, an explosion creates a new mystery while Eva continues searching for answers about Bryce, and Angus and Kelly remain prisoners. Sharon and Ian know that escaping Ark 22 will not be easy. The ship is moving too quickly for them to simply return to Ark 1, so they have to find another way out. Ian becomes especially useful during the escape attempt. His knowledge is not limited to the memories connected to the shared coma experience from earlier events. He demonstrates practical instincts that help him and Sharon improvise, giving them a real chance of getting away from the clone-filled ship. Back on Ark 1, however, the situation is becoming more complicated because of Admiral Ben Hammond. Hammond is supposed to be a legitimate officer from the Ross 128 survivors, and the files confirming his identity appear to support that. His behavior is another matter. Sharon has already noticed that Hammond is willing to challenge her authority. Kimmy and Alicia have also defied his orders, creating another source of tension. Hammond then seems strangely eager to leave the area around Ark 22 even though Sharon and Ian are still nearby. That decision makes his motives increasingly difficult to understand. The episode does not yet reveal exactly what Hammond wants, but his actions suggest that his ambitions may extend beyond simply protecting the survivors. His credentials may be genuine, yet that does not mean his intentions are harmless. The biggest revelation comes when Sharon's own identity becomes part of the clone mystery. Sharon is identified as a special Gen 3 clone connected to the G44 program. That is important because earlier Gen 3 clones suffered serious psychological problems. The strange versions of Sharon that were previously seen locked away may therefore have a deeper connection to the clone program than anyone realized. This also explains why Drake appears so interested in Sharon. Drake is continuing to create clones aboard Ark 22 while trying to correct the problems that affected earlier generations. If Sharon represents a successful or unusual version of the Gen 3 process, she could be extremely valuable to him. That revelation changes how we should view Sharon's situation. She is not simply another person trapped aboard a ship full of copies. Her existence may be directly connected to the next stage of Drake's experiments. Meanwhile, Homebase 1 is dealing with a completely different kind of crisis. An explosion rocks the colony, immediately raising questions about sabotage. Eva is already investigating Bryce's apparent death, so the new incident gives her another reason to distrust what she is being told. Bryce was believed to have died during the mission involving the dangerous spider-like creatures on Ross 128. But the circumstances surrounding his disappearance remain uncertain, leaving Eva unwilling to accept that his story is necessarily over. Trust tries to keep Eva from becoming completely consumed by the investigation. He brings her the signature drink from the local bar and attempts to offer some emotional support. Trust also shows a more caring side throughout the episode, checking on the people around him and offering to listen when Dr. Kabir discusses her troubled relationship with her former husband, Sheriff Milan Petrovich. Trust also notices something that others overlook. A man brought in from the generator is wearing Angus Medford's clothes. That discovery connects the colony's current mystery to Angus, who remains imprisoned alongside Kelly. The two are becoming increasingly concerned about their ability to survive without food. Angus responds by focusing on the problem in front of him rather than giving in to fear. His background also becomes clearer. He has a genuine passion for exploration, food, space, and keeping people alive. Those interests help explain why he continues searching for solutions even while his own survival is in doubt. Angus notices that several broken rocks appear to form a puzzle. The discovery suggests that the planet's environment may contain clues that the survivors have not yet understood. At the same time, evidence begins pointing toward the planet's indigenous inhabitants as a possible source of the sabotage. The implication is that the humans may not be welcome. Attempts connected to the generator suggest that someone is actively trying to prevent the Ark survivors from establishing a permanent colony. That creates a much larger conflict than the survivors initially expected. They are not simply exploring an empty world. They may have arrived somewhere that already belongs to someone else. That possibility also creates divisions among the human survivors. Different groups have different ideas about whether they should keep pushing forward, investigate the planet, or avoid provoking whatever is living there. Governor Vesna Illich is particularly interesting in this regard. She warns against continuing the search for Angus and Kelly, which suggests she may know more about the danger than she is admitting. Her warning feels less like a general concern and more like someone who has already encountered something similar. Vesna also shares secret knowledge with Milan about the alien life forms. At the same time, her relationship with Kabir becomes increasingly uncomfortable. VS treats Kabir dismissively, particularly when Kabir discusses the problems surrounding her former relationship with Milan. The tension suggests that the personal conflict may be connected to larger secrets inside the colony. By the end of the episode, both halves of the story are pointing toward hidden histories. On Arc 22, Sharon's identity as a special Gen 3 clone makes her potentially crucial to Drake's plans. Ian and Sharon still need to escape, but even if they succeed, Sharon may have become the most important piece in the clone mystery. On Home Base 1, the explosion, Angus's discovery, and the evidence of indigenous resistance suggest that the planet itself could become the next major battlefield. There is also the unresolved question of Bryce. Eva still does not have a satisfying explanation for what happened to him, and the new dangers surrounding the colony make his fate even more uncertain. The episode therefore refuses to establish one clear villain. Drake remains dangerous because of his obsession with cloning. Hammond is becoming suspicious because of his unexplained decisions. The indigenous inhabitants may be defending their world rather than simply attacking humans without reason. And Vesna appears to know more than she is willing to share. The most important ending reveal, however, belongs to Sharon. Learning that she is a special Gen 3 clone means that her past may have been manufactured rather than simply hidden. It also raises the possibility that her value to Drake is precisely what could make her the key to stopping him. For Sharon and Ian, escaping Arc 22 is now only the immediate problem. The bigger question is what Sharon actually is, why she was created, and why Drake appears so determined to understand her.